Okay, I'm going to do one overtime segment here. The C was accessible, but now it's moved over. So this is where the warp string is, and this is the characteristic of the C, that the root is warped over. So we have it written down right here. Where did I say that? Here it is. C and D cages have the root warped over. Alright, so it's root 3, 5, and then root warped over. But I want to somehow include that. I should have brought this, got this guy over. Remember, where it root warps over, it's like root 3, it's like root 3, 5, and then it goes straight up to the root. So you just remember this pattern, and you run this pattern up here, root 3, 5, hit the warp, but that usually goes straight up. 5 is always underneath the root in patterns. Patterns are all perfect fourths. These are all perfect fourths. Once you learn these patterns, you can run right through that warp just by making an adjustment there. Every time you hit it in any situation, So we're going into the A box here. That's the characteristic, and it's also with the D box. Okay, so C and D cages have the root warped over. Alright, because remember the original second inversion, because both strings warp over here. Both strings warp over. The original second inversion is 5 root 3. Alright, but now with both of them warped over, you get the characteristic D shape and the characteristic root up here with the C here. The open fifth underneath. This is where the fret net would go. Moving to the A shape here, okay? Now we're going to start from the fifth. It says, about the A shape, the A and the G cages have the third warped. So the C and the D cages have the root warped into the lead there. See how it's in the lead of the second position? The second inversion here. Here's the second inversion on the C, which is, two of these are barred. So you don't even know they're there. You just go like this. You don't even know because these are barred like that. They're already done for you. People just pay attention to the root. Same thing here almost with the D shape that, you know, with mine I'd have to take the capo off. The D shape, you know, I can go lower. I like to play that D, but you don't usually think that you're going to have it barred like that. Sorry. I think I strained my hand a little bit. So probably from just resting on my desk here, not playing. In the A shape we have a warped third. So here's the third, and the fifth warps over too. But the note of interest is the warped third. Remember, the pattern does not change. Root to the third, okay, major third, minor third, and perfect fourth. Alright, so we have in the second inversion, perfect fourth, root to a third is a major third. Second inversion, a perfect fourth to the major third. It's a big chord. The second inversion is a big chord on the piano. Okay? So it's the one with the fifth on the bottom. This is our second inversion shape. It's our E shape. When you play an E, you're doing a second inversion. You're putting your fingers on. I consider the chord as where you're putting your fingers. Okay? In the A, it's going to be warped over. The third is warped over, and now you have the characteristic A shape with the three notes straight up like that. The A is actually, you know, this big thing where the warp is here, and it looks like an A if you do the triangle from there, you extend it up. So the A and the G have the three warped. Why? Because A and G are interconnected like that, right? So it's the same three notes. They have the third warped over like that. So when you're doing your G, Now this is on the same string, so you can't make a chord there. So that's why when you bar the G, you're getting this much of it for free. Okay? Like that. And then you get the third and the fifth down here. Alright? So that's how the warp affects the G. It brings the third into the picture, and the A. Now the E and the G cages share, they also have a warped fifth, okay? So the E has a warped fifth that comes over. So instead of if you're in the E cage, okay, for me it would be the C way up here. For you it would be like the E here. If you want to do a root chord in the I have to do it up here. The root chord with the C, the E cage. All right. That's by patterns. If you want to do that root chord, this G is warped over. It's not going to be a normal a normal root chord where you have a perfect third and then a minor third. All right, it is a minor third because the warp string is down tuned 1. So it looks like the same interval as an unwarped major third, but it's a minor third. 3 to 5 is a minor third. So that's the shape of a root chord in the E box. And I'm sure like the greatest guitarists have played this tons of times, you know, and it's beautiful to find these little chords that we never knew about, like the way that, you know, you can bar something over here, barring the third. Actually, this is the open fret nut bar, hard bar, and you get this D shape right there, you know, just by playing one note. These are things that you know, real performers use all the time because they're easy. This is an easy root chord. It's not as long as the root chord, and it's certainly not as low as the root chord in the C shape, root 3, 5. See how there's kind of a long chord and a long chord here on the G. Now, the E and the G cages share notes. Okay, so they have the fifth warped like that. And then the D, again, we've got the same situation as the C cage. Alright, where we have a warped root. So the root and the third goes with it. Warp over to make this triangular shape here. Otherwise, in the D cage, we have a first inversion. D cage. So you got your D here. This will hurt. I'll just use the capo for a minute. And I can get this D cage here. Alright, but I can do this, the root, let's see, the root, we got a little problem here. Okay, because this is the third string, so the root would be on the third string. Okay, and then we can't get that third right there because we have hard capoed it. That was my bad. Okay, so it's to the third there, to the fifth. Alright, that's what those notes are. And, you know, again, it's warped over here. But down on the bottom here, with only the bottom 4 notes here, we got the D shape right here. Alright, we've got other configurations here. I didn't white out the other notes, so sorry, it's a little hard to see. So anyway, let's finish up. That's it for now, and we'll be talking more about this chart. Keep playing, keep watching, and keep learning.